Okay, namaste yogis. Welcome to our 30-minute practice. Today's practice will be based around the sun salutation sequence, Surya Namaskar, which is a really great practice for energizing and enlivening focused attention. And then I thought, rather than taking Shavasana at the end of our practice, that we'd finish with a breathing practice today, or a pranayama, known as Nadi Shodhana, also known as alternate nostril breathing. We will be alternating or manipulating the flow of breath through the nostrils, one nostril at a time, which brings about the effect of tranquility and balance. So we're balancing the hemispheres of the brain. We're also balancing the activation of our nervous system, parasympathetic versus the sympathetic nervous system. So it brings us into this state of alert attention, but we're not agitated or anxious in any way. It's a really nice soothing practice, which will take us nicely into our afternoon. So to begin, we'll lie down on the back. It's a little bit of twisting and core activation before we get into our standing sequence. So lying on your back, maybe starting with the soles of the feet on the floor, just to really ground through the lower back, through the shoulders. You can rest your hands somewhere on your body or down beside you. And we'll just take a few deep conscious breaths in and out through the nose, or if you'd like, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So taking that deep breath in, filling the bottom of the lungs all the way up to the top. And breathing out. That out breath can be slightly audible, nice and soothing. Breathing in again deeply through the nose. Breathing out. One more deep breath in this way. And now relaxing your breathing, allowing it to flow naturally, but keeping the breath flowing in and out through the nose. So in yoga, we practice nasal breathing, which is far superior to breathing through the mouth. There are so many functions of the nose that contribute to our health, our well-being, and even the bone structures of the face. Now we'll take the arms out into a T position. Bring the knees in toward the chest. So the knees kind of hover above the hips, and we'll bring the heels to hover just in front of the knees. So we've got some nice right angles happening there, and the palms of the hands can turn down to the floor. Taking a deep breath in here, and then as you exhale, release the knees over to the right side. They might come all the way to the ground, or they might just hover above. And then breathing in, core activating, coming back to the center, and breathing out, lowering over to the left, to or toward the floor, doesn't matter. Breathing in, coming back to the middle. Breathing out, lowering down to the right side. So using control here. Breathing in, back to center, breathing out to the left. Take one more each side. As you come up, press the lower back into the floor. And as you come down, moving slowly with control as far as you can. Last time into the center and over to the left. And then returning to the center. Release the feet to the floor. If you'd like, you can take your feet wide and drop your knees in together. So after that little bit of core activation and twisting, we're going to take some deep breath into the belly so we can relax those muscles. So if it's useful, you can place a hand on your belly and feel the rising and falling or expansion and contraction of those muscles as you breathe. On the in-breath, the abdomen expands out, and as you breathe out, belly moves back down toward the floor. One more breath like this. All right, and we'll extend the left leg long across the floor and bring the right knee, hug it in toward the chest. And we can interlace the fingers either in front of the knee or shin, or at the back of the leg around the hamstring. Gently guide the thigh in toward the chest. Release the shoulders down to the floor behind you. And now as you take your next in-breath, lift your forehead toward your knee. As you breathe out, release your head toward the floor. Breathing in again, lifting the head. Breathing out and lowering down. Last time this side, breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, releasing down. Now extending that right leg straight, press the right heel toward the sky or the ceiling. A deep breath in as you drive up through the heel, and as you exhale again, draw the thigh in toward the chest. Deep stretch through the back of the leg. You can keep hold of the back of the leg, or you can reach to hold the big toe or somewhere on the foot as you draw in. Allow your knee to bend a little bit here. A couple more breaths. And drop the heel, release the right leg along the floor. Take a moment to breathe and just be aware of the effects of that or any difference between your right and left sides. And now bring your left foot, left leg in, interlace your fingers either around the shin or the back of the leg, whichever is most comfortable or accessible. Release the shoulders down or even gently press them into the floor. Tuck the chin toward the chest. Deep breath in, lifting the forehead toward the knee. And breathing out, releasing back of the head to the floor, shoulders to the floor. Twice more. First, establishing a rhythm of breath and movement, your own rhythm. And as you're already extending the left leg straight, inhale, press up through the heel. And then as you exhale, draw that thigh in, bending at the elbows, bending at the knee. Couple more breaths. And then releasing that leg down. Now bring the soles of the feet to the floor, rolling over to your right side, pressing into your hands to bring yourself up to a seated position. And we're just going to move straight onto hands and knees. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, a few rounds through the cat stretch just to warm up through the spine a bit more. So as you inhale, tilt your tailbone toward the sky, draw your shoulders back, your chest forward, and the lift of the chin and the gaze. And then exhaling, curl the tailbone under to point to the floor. Bring the chin toward the chest and create space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, coming forward. Exhaling, taking it back. Take 3 more of these, and again, just finding your own rhythm, your own pace, in combination with the breath. Awareness in the spine, the movement of the spine. Last one. Back to your neutral spine position. Bringing your knees a little bit closer together, your feet a little bit closer together, and drop your hips over to the left, sitting down toward the left heel. Then sweep across to the right heel and come up. And then again over to the left and down, across to the right and up. So making some circles through the hips. And just gradually making these movements a bit bigger, maybe bringing the shoulders slightly in front of the wrist as you move from right to left. And if you're like me, you might be experiencing some clicking and clacking through the joints, which is fine as long as it's not associated with pain. So if you experience any pain, then feel free, or you're encouraged to actually back off the movement or the position that's causing you pain. Find something that feels better for you. And now we'll go back the opposite way. So sitting down to the right heel, sweep the bum across to the left, come up. Making circles now left to right. Maybe feeling the shifting of pressure and contact between hands, knees. Finding a way to breathe with this movement. It's really important that we get nice and warm through hips, through shoulders, and through spine before we take our flow. So a big part of yoga is taking care of the body, honoring the body. It's not a place where we push and push and push and you can rest when you're dead kind of mentality. Taking one more round. Back to neutral spine, up onto tabletop, hands and knees. Now tucking the toes under and lifting up into your downward facing dog. And just remembering to keep the knees
generously bent, particularly in your first downward facing dog, and really focusing on lifting the hips up and back, lengthening through the spine. And spread the fingers, press the hands firmly into the floor, as if you're pressing yourself away from the floor. Tailbone as high as you can get. Taking one more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, stepping your feet to the top of the mat or toward the hands, or hands toward the feet so that you find yourself in a forward fold. If you need to or feel the need to get a bit more space through your lower back, you can bring hands to the shins. On an inhale, extend the head forward as if pulling out of the lower back, and keeping that length, fold over the legs again. Keep your bend in the knees and just shift weight forward and back. Find a place that feels like center, where the pressure is even through the feet, and making sure your head and neck are completely relaxed so the weight of your head releases down to the ground. And come back to those deep abdominal breaths, so as if you're breathing into your belly. Now deepen the bend in your knees a bit more, sit your bum down slightly and roll up through the spine, through the torso, all the way up to standing. We'll call that one a ragdoll roll. As you come to standing, roll the shoulders back and down, reaching fingers toward the ground and the top of the head toward the ceiling. Feel the pressure and contact of your feet with the floor, each of the toes, and again, find that balance, that center of gravity. Bringing the palms of the hands together in front of the chest for our sun salutations now. Breathing in, reach the hands up toward the sky, a little lift of the chest, and then breathing out, fold forward, belly to the thighs, top of the head reaching toward the floor. Now step your left foot back, take your left knee down to the ground, low lunge. You can stay here with hands on the ground, or inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Hold here for 3 breaths. If you want to deepen the lunge, you can always drop your hips, your pelvis forward and down. That doesn't feel good though, stay nice and high. One more breath here, then releasing hands to the ground. Tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee. Step your right foot back as you lift your hips, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Now bring your knees down to the ground. Shoulders over the hands. Bend your elbows, but keep your elbows nice and close into the ribs as you lower your whole body flat to the floor. Wrap your elbows into your ribs once more. Draw the chest forward and up. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale, press back to the knees, tuck the toes, lift into downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. Focusing on length of the spine, lifting the hips. We want to find that lunge again with right foot in front. So if you can, step your right foot from here straight through between the hands, or if you need to, drop to your knees first, come into high knees, then step your right foot forward. Inhaling to raise the arms up, holding here for a few breaths. Alternatively, you can keep the hands on the floor. Just find a variation that feels spacious. So creating space and holding space in yoga is an important aspect. We want to create and hold space in the body. One more deep breath in here, and then stepping your left foot forward next to your right, coming into a forward fold. Release the head, release the weight of the torso down. Deep breath in and out. Now inhale, extend your spine long, take your arms out wide, come all the way up to standing, reach the hands overhead to touch, and then exhale, bring the hands together in front of the chest. Take a couple of breaths here. And then the left side, breathing in, raise the arms, maybe even taking the gaze up to the fingertips, and exhale, folding forward. Now this time we step back with the right foot, take the right knee down to the ground, holding here, 3 breaths, raising the arms up overhead, 3 breaths. Taking your last inhale, nice and deep. Exhaling, hands to the ground and stepping the left foot back to the right, lifting the hips to downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in and out here. Then again, inhale deeply. As you exhale, release the knees to the floor. Release your torso down to the mat. Inhale, now lift the chest, peeling it up, elbows in, shoulders pulling back. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for a couple of breaths. Returning to our lunge, this time left foot in front. So option to step left foot straight through or take to the knees first. High kneeling, stepping left foot forward, lunging, arms raised or hands, fingertips to the floor. 3 breaths. Hands to the mat now, stepping right foot forward to the left, folding over the legs, forward fold. Deep breath in and out. Release the weight of the torso on the exhale. One more deep breath in and out here, breathing into the belly. Maybe even feeling the belly expand out into the thighs. On your next inhale, firmly press into the feet. Lift yourself all the way up to standing, reaching tall. And then hands together in front of the chest. Pause here, a couple of breaths. So we're going to go through one more round each side. This time we'll do a flow breath by breath. So a little bit faster. Feel free to sit this out if you need to. Breathing in, raise the arms. Breathing out, folding forward. Stepping back with the left foot, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in here. Exhale, knees down and body flat to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Stepping forward with the right foot between the hands, inhaling here, high lunge. Exhale into forward fold. Deep breath in all the way up to standing, reaching tall. Breathing out, hands together in front of the chest. Breathing in and out here. Left side, inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Step back with the right foot. Inhale, raising arms. Exhale, hands down into downward facing dog. Deep breath in, downward facing dog. And exhale, lower down to the floor. Breathing in, cobra. Lift the chest. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Deep breath in, lengthen and lift. And then breathing out, step forward with your left foot. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale, hands to the ground, step right foot forward, folding in. Deep breath, rising to stand, reaching up. Breathing out, hands together in front of the chest, and then release them down to the sides. Taking a moment here to catch your breath. Drop the shoulders. Good. Making your way down to the floor. We're going to sit down, extend the legs out in front and take them out wide. Now inhale, raise your arms up over your head, rotate your torso to the right. And as you exhale, fold over your right leg, allow your right knee to bend. Bring the hands to the floor. Take another inhale, extend through your spine. And then as you exhale, soften the elbows, release the weight of the head down. Breathe into your belly. 3 deep breaths. Now making your way back up to center, press firmly into the right heel, extend your hands forward, inhale, lift up. And now rotate to the left, exhale, folding over your left leg with a little bend in the left knee, pull your left toes back, hands to the ground, inhale, extend. Exhale, fold in. Pull the breath down to the base of the lungs. Last cycle of breath in and out. Great, reaching hands forward, press into left heel. Breathe in to come all the way up Turn to center, breathe out. Just take the hands down to the ground, pull the toes of both feet back or up toward the ceiling. Extending forward through the crown of the head, lifting up and out of your lower back, taking a deep breath in, and if it's available, perhaps breathing out, lowering even deeper into this forward fold. If you're experiencing pain, you can always lift your torso or walk the hands in a little closer to your body until you find just a stretching sensation without pain. A little bit of discomfort's okay. Just a couple more deep breaths here. Awesome. Walk the hands in. Bring the legs to cross. And if you'd like, you can find something to place underneath your bottom to raise your hips up. So the knees are slightly lower than the hips. And that just really helps with the comfort of a seated position, as well as with the length of your spine. So we're just going to take a twist side to side here before we move into our breathing practice. So inhale, reach your arms up and use that reach to get length through your torso. And then as you exhale, take your left hand to your right knee and your right hand to the ground behind. Once you've found that position, take another breath in to lift up a little taller. And now breathing out, pull your right shoulder back. Turn your head to the right, just as far as is comfortable. Closing your eyes and taking your attention to the sensations you're experiencing in the body. The sensations of twisting, maybe a gentle compression of the abdomen, maybe some stretching through the spine or some sensation through shoulder blades, just noticing what's present for you. And keeping the twist of the body, just return the head to the front. Now we'll inhale, untwist, raise the arms up overhead. Lengthening, and then exhaling, right hand to the left knee or thigh, left hand to the ground behind, kind of directly behind your tailbone. Taking another inhale to lift up. Exhaling to twist, drop the shoulders, pulling left shoulder back and turning the head. Continue to breathe consciously. At the same time, just scanning through the body, aware of sensations. As much as we can in our yoga practice, keeping the awareness within the framework of the body. And this is where we build our capacity for interoception and proprioception. The awareness of the body within space and awareness of the sensations of the body, the experience of the body. A felt sense of self and embodiment. Returning the head to center. Breathing in, raise the arms up. Reaching tall and then breathing out, reach as you take your arms down the sides. All the way down to the ground. And then resting your hands somewhere on your lap. So as we transition now into our breathing practice, feel free to change your seated posture so that it's comfortable for you, or if you'd like to, you can rest your back against a wall. So sometimes having the back or seated upright for an extended period of time, the muscles of the back either side of the spine can fatigue and begin to feel uncomfortable. So making sure that you're as comfortable as you can be, because that ends up being the big distraction is discomfort. So legs can be extended if you'd like, they can be crossed, or you might sit in kneeling. Now just close your eyes and bring your attention to your respiration. So breathing is an autonomic function, which means it's an automatic function of the body, taken care of by our autonomic nervous system. Happens without us having to be consciously aware or to give any conscious effort. But we can also, when we choose to,
Exert effort on the breath, manipulate the way that we're breathing. And by doing this, affect our state of mind, bringing ourselves into state of rest and relaxation, or states of enhanced alertness, attentiveness, or like we're about to do today, a place of balance between the two. So a restful alertness. So to begin Nadi Shodhana, we take the first two fingers of the right hand and place it between the eyebrow center. Now, using the thumb to block lightly the right nostril, take a breath in and out through the left. Now release the right nostril, bring your ring finger to block off your left nostril and breathe in and out through the right side. Release the left nostril, block the right, breathe in and out through the left. Change again, blocking off the left nostril with the ring finger, breathing in and out through the right. And continue on alternating like this, blocking the right nostril, breathing in and out through the left. And just making sure that as you block your nostril, that you're touching that part where the soft part of the nose kind of molds into that harder part, the cartilage part of the nose, the harder cartilage, and just lightly blocking off there. So you really don't need to add too much pressure, just enough to block the passage of air through that nostril. Continue with this breath. So there are a few stages of Nadi Shodhana, of this alternate nostril breathing. This one here that we're working on today is just part of the preliminary practice. So kind of preparatory practice for the full practice of Nadi Shodhana. And this is a practice that is a progressive one. So you spend a couple of weeks practicing one way and then you slowly progress through the stages. Eventually you work on manipulating the length of the inhales and the exhales. We introduce some retention of breath, holding the breath in or holding the breath out, depending on the effects that we're looking for. So the flow of breath actually naturally alternates throughout the day, every 30 minutes to 4 hours. And that kind of switches on the different parts of the nervous system, depending on what we're needing or the activity that we're doing. But when we practice Nadi Shodhana, we take that into our own hands and we can bring about the effect that we're looking for. So this practice where we're breathing evenly through one nostril at a time and balancing out that, we create that balance. But we can also just breathe in through one nostril and out through the other over and over. So through the right and out the left, through the right and out the left. And that will activate our sympathetic nervous system and have a certain effect. Or we could just breathe in through the left and out through the right, and that would have a different effect. That would speak to our parasympathetic nervous system, would help us with relaxation, digestion, and all these sorts of things. Just take one more round in and out through the right, in and out through the left. So finishing up with an exhalation through your left nostril. Relax your right hand down. And just breathing now freely through both of the nostrils together. And perhaps as you move through your day, you'll be able to notice a dominance in the breath through one nostril or the other, or the feeling of free flow of breath might be through one nostril more than the other. And so maybe you become more aware of that now. Maybe this is a practice that you'd like to continue with. There are plenty of how-to videos with this one on YouTube. We also have a couple of these videos on my website, where we've got a bunch of online yoga videos. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out. We've also got a free 10-day yoga challenge going for you guys. So if you're interested in that, also reach out. But enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me.